Are you ready? All right. Are you ready? Isn't that a song? Are you ready? Hi, this is Father Joe, pastor at Holy Family in Grand Blanc and St. Mark and Goodrich, and I'm here to extract my wisdom from your cornucopia of questions. Let's dig. Is it okay to pray to receive signs from God? Do you receive signs? Sure, yeah, let her rip. Many holy people in the Bible have asked for signs. It's not a good idea to base too much off of them, right? Off of receiving them. If you look at Jesus when he was tempted by the devil, it was, boy, this is tough to explain. I'll try to do my best. And Dostoevsky wrote about this in his book, The Brothers Karamazov. It's a chapter called The Myth of the Grand Inquisitor, right? And there were 3 temptations that the devil offered Jesus, and they were all based around the idea of Jesus, like the temptation to turn stones into bread, the temptation to be a God who fills our bellies, right? Who meets our physical needs primarily. And Jesus rejected being that kind of God. The second temptation being, what did we do here? The throwing himself off of the temple and having this grand physical sign that, as Jesus says, blessed are they who believe even though they've never seen. That each sign God gives us can potentially turn into one of those things where we need more the next time. And so Jesus rejected being the type of God who fills our bellies, the type of God who has a people contingent, dependent on signs. And then finally, the third temptation, Jesus rejected taking our freedom, making us worship him. It's kind of cool to look at it that way. If we're at a low point in particular, and sometimes we just need that extra how you doing, it's okay to say, Lord, I need that today, if you would. But also don't forget to just pray that beautiful prayer from the New Testament where somebody said to Jesus, I do believe, but help my unbelief. So here we go. All right, let's see what we got here. See, I can do my bad British accent now that somebody isn't here. Dear Father Joe, this is from the 13-year-old. Did people who died before Jesus was resurrected all go to hell? Okay. Nope. What we believe is they went to a place, you might want to look this up, Sheol, Sheol. And I was right there again because my watch just confirmed it with a ding. Can you hear that ding? Yes? Okay. So anyway, what our scripture, what our tradition tells us, and sometimes, to be honest, translation-wise, the word Sheol gets a little mixed up into hell, okay? But it's not a place of separation from God or pain. The way it was explained to me was it's this idea of like when you're asleep and it's the middle of the night and you wake up and it's cold, but you're in a nice warm bed and you're just very content and you're kind of barely there, right? You're in such a deep sleep. So that's what Sheol's like. What we learn in one of Peter's letters is that Jesus descended to Sheol and he preached to the people there and they followed him to the kingdom of heaven. So isn't that a blessing, right? Our God always meets us where we are. And he went to those people in Sheol like King David and Moses. And isn't that cool? So hope you find that helpful. We've got another question here. I recently attended a funeral mass at Holy Family where you wore black vestments. It was a lovely mass. I have never seen black vestments and wondered if you could explain the significance. Sure. I guess it's my understanding that that's always been an option, but that just guys didn't do it. And I was at a funeral where I saw a priest wearing black vestments, and I thought it really drove home the gravity of the moment. One of the things I think we struggle with as Americans, and I only say that not to rip on America because I haven't done funerals elsewhere, but is we seem to be moving farther and farther from the reality of death, you know. So we, and I have people say this to me when my mom died, oh, she's not really dead. And it's like, No, objectively, she's dead. Do I believe I'll see her again? Yeah, absolutely. I pray, right? Death is nothing at all. Someone sent me that poem. What an awful thing. Yes, it is. Death is something, and it's awful. And I think the black vestments drive home that reality that the Lord's with you in this darkness. And that's really important for us. We believe in the resurrection, absolutely. Scripture, though, doesn't say we don't mourn. It says we mourn as people with hope. So I think the white of the altar linens and of the funeral pall bring home the hope, and the black of the vestments drive home the reality of our loss and sorrow. So that's what I got for you. And it is not a requirement. A priest can wear black or white, either way there. Like I said, I wear the black because I think it's a good sign of mourning. So thank you for that question. And thanks for saying it was a lovely Mass. I do my best. So submit your questions, man, from the Church of the Holy Family Facebook page, and we'll get right after them. In the meantime, thank you so much for getting the word out. Keep spreading the word, sharing those puppies, and we'll do them as long as we can. See you next time.